hopefully I'll be able to get through to this before my battery died. I should have came on here earlier. But I wanted to start off by letting you guys know that all of my ActiveX products, because you guys told me to make it easily accessible to you guys. So I just wanted to start off by first saying that all of my ActiveX products are accessible right now via YouTube. So all you have to do is just go to the store tab of my channel, and then you'll be able to see all things ActiveX. Because you guys did tell me to make it easily accessible to you guys, I decided to go ahead and turn on the chat for this video. So hopefully it don't be no foolishness and no bad talking on this live. Hey Wayne. But I did want to go ahead and do a quick message with you guys before my battery died. And so I'm going to start off by reading. Thank you Petra. I'm going to start off by reading Psalms 109 to go ahead and kickstart this message. As you guys come in, I decided to go ahead and turn on the chats for this, so hopefully we don't have any foolishness or no mess going on in the chat. But Psalms 109, it says, "Be not silent, O God of my praise, for wicked and deceitful mouths are opened against me, speaking against me with lying tongues. They encircle me with their words of hate and attack me without cause. In return for my love, they accuse me, but I give myself to prayer. So they reward me evil for good and hatred for my love. Appoint a wicked man against him, and let an accuser stand at his right hand. When he is tried, let him come forth guilty. Let his prayer be counted as sin. May his days be few, and may another take his office." God is really and truly, he's not playing about you in this season. For whatever the reason, people, and like I said, I could be talking for a few of you, I could be talking to a mass group of you that's going through this. But for some reason throughout your life, you've had people who were so intimidated of you. And I hate to say it like this, because some of us are like, some of you are going to say, you know what, Victoria, I didn't ask to be intimidated of. I stay out the way. I don't talk about people. I stay out the way. Let me tell you something. When you are in a battle of what's spiritually good and what's spiritually evil, okay, you are always going to have that fight and that battle circling around your name and circling around what your destiny is, because you have already had people who have looked into it. And so when you have people, some people who have not looked into it, right? But then you have these people who can smell that spiritual stint around you and your name. I've talked to you guys about this before, but you guys didn't understand what I meant by spiritual stint. The devil know who is chosen by God, just like who's chosen by God know who's of the devil. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get around these people who are susceptible to certain energies that you are protected from, they smell that on you. They smell it. They don't like it. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to place themselves around you and plant themselves in your life in order to understand what your calling is, what your destiny is, and what your purpose is. Now more than ever, your decisions are going to impact the course of your life. Your decisions that you make from this day forward are bigger than you. You get what I'm saying? And so now more than ever, you have to be on guard about who you have in your life, who you tell your business to, who you confide into, and who you allow in your home. And I'm not telling you to be on guard about everybody and cut everybody off. But what I'm telling you is you have to truly be in the season of judging people by their actions. Okay? You have to listen. Be slow to speak. Listen to what comes out of a person's mouth. A lot of enemies that I've caught that I'm not going to go back and forth with. I'm not going to wrestle with you. I'm just going to back away from you and block you. See, the devil don't want me to say it. Am I back on? Let me know if I'm back on. My live just cut off. It just cut off my live and told me that the stream was interrupted. Before I keep talking, can you guys confirm that you guys can hear me? Am I back on? Am I back on? Can you guys hear me? Am I back on? Okay. See, the devil don't want me to get this out today. That's never happened to me before. it literally, my stream just cut off. It just went off the screen. So let me try to get through to it before it cuts off again. Hey guys. So now more than ever, you have to be on guard about who you allow in your home, who you will confide in. A lot of enemies that I've cut off, and this is crazy. It started me from the beginning. Yeah, the devil don't want me to get this out today. The devil does not want me to get this out. It just took me back to a minute, and I've already been on this stream for 5 minutes. Wow. I tell you guys, when you are on heaven's assignment, just bottom line, when you are on heaven's assignment, there's so many obstacles that are placed before you because of what people don't want for you. And see, this is the thing. Everybody want to be chosen until they're blackballed, okay? Everybody wants to be chosen until they don't have any friends. Everybody wants to be chosen until people don't like you for whatever the reason. You walk up in a room, you already getting hate. You sitting down trying to eat your breakfast, you already got somebody talking to you crazy. You think that somebody is your friend today, and a friend today turns into a foe tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? And so now more than ever, you guys have to be on guard about not only, you know, who you allow in your life, but who you confide in, okay? And so I want you guys to read Psalms 109, because it's getting ready to storm. I'm going to try to get through it, but it started raining. But I'm going to read Psalms 109 to you guys again. Be not silent, O God of my praise, for the wicked and deceitful mouths are opened against me, speaking against me with lying tongues. They encircle me with words of hate and attack me without cause. In return for my love, they accuse me, but I give myself to prayer. So they reward me evil for good and hatred for my love. Appoint a wicked man against him. Let an accuser stand at his right hand. When he is tried, let him come forth guilty. Let his prayer be counted as sin. May his days be few, and may another take his office. God is not playing in this season. Everything that your enemies wanted for you, everything that your enemies blocked off from you, everything that your enemies prayed that you would lose, their positions is about to be taken off the table. A lot of people are going to start going through layoffs. Just go down the list of whatever it is that you went through, and that's what your enemies are going to start going through. Their prayers are not going to be answered. Their pleas for sympathy is not going to, it's going to go on deaf ears because of everything of what they wanted for you moving in such a way where they wanted you to lose everything. You get me what I'm saying? These people wanted you to lose everything. These people wanted you to have nothing. These people wanted you to suffer. They wanted your kids to suffer. Okay? They wanted you to lose things on a mass level and on a mass scale. Hold on, guys. It's raining. These people wanted you to lose things. I don't know where I'm going to be able to place mine. These people wanted you to lose things on a mass scale, okay? These people were not your friends, all right? It's the reason why I had to come on here today, okay? These people are not your friends. These people were never your friends. These people did not owe you any loyalty. They did not owe you any respect whatsoever. Okay, a lot of enemies, what I was getting ready to say before they interrupted my live, enemies that I've caught saying things towards me, right? We'd be on the phone and they would say, oh, I always wanted to go to Clark University. Oh, I just love Atlanta so much. I got to get to Atlanta. I don't know about you, but I got to get to Atlanta. Now, two things, if you guys have been following me, you know that my baby father relocated to Atlanta, so I am not, I mean, I get the history and everything, but I'm not too keen on Atlanta at all. The second thing, Clark University is a university that his baby mom that he was with prior to me, right? That's the university that she graduated from. So this particular person, I don't know if they was thinking, I don't know what they was thinking, but when you start saying things out like that to me, and God has already told me, be slow to speak and listen. And you supposed to be calling yourself my friend. But you mentioning universities that basically she's an enemy of mine. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know if this girl was spiritually attacking me. You don't know if she's been the stumbling block between me receiving my blessings, and you sitting up here talking about you always wanted to go to a university that my ex's baby mother went to and graduated from. You talking about you want to go to a city that my ex resides in. And you're mentioning all this in basic conversation with me. So a lot of people, and when I told my mom this, she was like, you don't know. I mean, my mom had choice words because she don't play. She's worse off than me, okay? Y'all think I'd be gutter with it and straightforward with it. She called her another name, but she was like, you don't know if that chick was trying to be smart and play up in your face and try to see if you was going to catch on. And I say, you one sick person if you was working with my ex and part of any kind of plots or plans against me behind my back. And then instead of being a friend and telling me what the truth is, you want to dance around the truth and see if I catch on to it. So I say that to say a lot of people who were not for you, you're going to be in this season where it's going to hurt. You're going to be in the season where you're not going to know or understand why God was doing what he was doing for you. Why he not only made you wait for your blessings, but he made you wait for your enemies to receive judgment on what it is that they were doing against you. See, people think that they can silence you and shut you up because they mess, with my analytics and things like that. Let me tell you something. My channel has already reached so many people to the point where I've already been vetted by a lot of people who's truly listened to my messages, and my messages have done and made a positive impact on their life. But see, a lot of people in this season tried to silence me because of what they did to inadvertently cause, delays and ruin in my life, and they didn't want me speaking on it. You get me what I'm saying? So when people attack you in the ways that they attack you, you have to wear it like a badge of honor. And what I mean by that is I am no way trying to, excuse how severe of a situation and predicament that these people place you in. But what I'm saying is when people have to reach so high and go to extreme measures and heights and levels to try to condemn you, to try to hurt you, to try to ruin you and destroy you, clearly that means if they have to reach high to do that, then evidently they was low somewhere beneath you when they started initially attacking you. Okay, so when someone has to reach up high to try to do all these things to you, that means that they've already accepted the fact and come to terms and grips with somewhere along the line they realize that they can't compete where they don't compare. And somewhere along the line they realize that you was just on a different level than people. You just on a different level than people. So when you're on a different level than people, you're going to have people who reward you evil and hatred for your goodness, for your kindness. You understand what I'm saying? For the love that you give to people, for the understanding that you try to give to people. You're going to have people who returns that for wickedness to try to curse you behind your back. And some people would get so slimy with it that they feel like they want the curses to stick to you. So it's like, not only do they do it behind your back, they play you to your face in order to get really close to you, to get really close to seeing what's coming in for you, to get really close to seeing how you move, how you maneuver, right? So that they can attack it. Everything of what it is that these people wanted for you, it clearly says that in scripture, which is why I'm going to appoint you and say that it's imperative and it will behoove you to read Psalms 109. Either do it now, you can read it out loud. You can read it out loud as soon as you get off the live with me, baby. But if I was you, I would have Psalms 109, Psalms 36, Psalms 23, Psalms 91, Psalms 104, playing around the clock on a loop. Do you hear me what I'm saying? Because everything of what you went through was not natural. It was supernatural. And it was orchestrated and destined to have you in ruin in some type of capacity. You get what I'm saying? Some type of capacity on some type of level. People really tried to cripple you. And they really wanted you out here in the worst way. People really tried to knock you not only up off your path because of their jealousy and hatred for the things that you cannot control. You cannot control what it is that God has in store and what he's already slated and promised you that you will have. There's also a certain promise with that, with God telling you that he's promising you these things. Do you think that God would promise you something and write your name on invincible marker or write it on erasable ink for anybody to come behind you and just be able to say that, well, if I can't see your name, that don't mean that it's your blessing. Well, if I can easily erase it, I can erase your name and put my name up on it. No, God would not give you a blessing and write your name in invincible or erasable ink. He is going to write it in permanent, visible ink for everyone to know that that is your blessing, that what's meant for you is going to come into you. It does not matter what baneful magic that they practice against you, against your children, against your blessings, against your home, against your forward progression. The people that I'm talking to today, baby, y'all some fighters. You are some warriors. You understand what I'm saying? You are some heavy hitters on this heaven's assignment. I will repeat it. You are some heavy hitters on heaven's assignment. 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 How many times that you got to repeat that? Repeat it every day. Repeat it several times throughout the day. You are some heavy hitters on heaven's assignment. 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 That's why what they wanted for you could not prevail. That's why what they wanted for your life could not manifest and unfold in your life. Let me tell you something. If there was ever a time that you questioned what you went through, right? And you don't believe the words that's come out of my mouth right now. You don't believe me what I'm saying right now. You think that I'm fake. You think that I don't know what I'm saying. You think that I'm a false prophet. You think that I'm not slated to be saying what it is that I'm saying. Look at all the things that you went through. I'm going to confirm for you right now that it was God working all through you, around you, and for you. I'm going to confirm it right now. Are you ready for me? I'm going to confirm it right now. If you was ever the type of person who went through all your life, we touching down through different groups. If you was the type of person that went through and couldn't have not one single real friend be there for you in this day and age, right? Right now as we stand, you 20, you 25, you 30, 35, you 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, right? And all your life you've been going through situations you could never put your finger on. Why I always had to encounter fake friends. Why every friend that I encountered had to snake me either emotionally, physically, or spiritually. Why me? What's the problem with me? You get what I'm saying? Why they felt like they had to take these jabs at me when all I did was give them realness. All I did was give them love. All I did was give them support. Some of y'all bent over backwards to show people not only do you support them, but you will be in their corner for whatever it is that they're trying to get up off the ground, or whatever assignments or whatever businesses that they're trying to get up off the ground, right? You showed people in more ways than one that you would be there for them and that you was real, right? So why every time you turned around, it was always your friend or your best friend that was getting with your dude or your girl behind your back? Why every time it was your friend that was sitting up here working with your ex behind your back to snake you or tell all your business? Why it had to be your friend that was sitting up here always trying to compete and be better than you all the time, while sitting up here trying to be better than you, putting you down and undermining your successes, your achievements, and your goals that you've already been able to reach? Who I'm talking to? I got 10% on my battery, baby, but best believe I'm finna get through this message. I'm finna use every single percent of my battery. Why it always had to be your mother that was jealous or in competition with you, right? Why it always had to be your mother that was sitting up here going behind your back and betraying you? Some of y'all have come to me with stories that your mother was sleeping with your husband. It was your mother that was sitting up here favoring your sister or your brother over you and making you feel like you obsolete, like they wish that they never had you. Some of y'all would tell me that it was your fathers that made you feel like this, that would always undermine you in front of other groups of people. You get what I'm saying? Some of y'all went through things that you couldn't put your finger on why it was always you. Something was always occurring up in your life where for every 10 steps forward that you take, you was being set back 15 steps or 20 steps, right? It felt like life itself was making it just that much more harder for you to be able to move forward. Like I said, what you went through wasn't natural, it was supernatural. You had certain spiritual interferences that were trying to stand in between the blessings that you worked hard for and the harvest that you were set to reap. You get me what I'm saying? And so these spiritual interferences, okay, whether it was sent by, whether it was already aligned on your destiny, part of your journey, part of your purpose, or you know that the devil come in many different shapes, sizes, and forms, baby. He can work through anybody that's susceptible to any kind of energy or spirit that he tries to work through and send towards these people. That's exactly what will happen, and he will use these people to get towards you. But somehow, some way, through you being incarcerated, through you being jobless, through you being homeless, through you being loveless, through you being childless in whatever shape, way, form, or fashion, you could have lost your children. You could have had your children taken away from you, right? Whatever it is that was going on with you guys, okay? Hold on. Whatever it is that was, okay, I'm gonna have to use my key. Whatever it is that was going on with you guys, the only force that was able to keep you and sustain you was God. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to listen to me another day in your life. If you are still homeless, baby, let me tell you something. There are changes that's going to occur. There are changes that's going to happen. You have to be open to paying attention to those signs. Nothing lasts forever. Whatever these people wanted for you, suffering, they could not drag out this suffering forever. They could not drag out these betrayals and whatever delays that they wanted for your life. They could not drag this out forever because, number one, that's not your birthright. Number two, that's not the journey and the destiny and the path that God intended for you to take. And number three, you got places that God needs you to be, things that he needs you to do. So take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, okay? The only thing that kept you intact, that kept you in your right mind, that got you here today on my live, I don't care how bad it is. Somebody's phone bill got paid for you to be on my live, so God did it. I don't care how bad it is. You somewhere that got Wi-Fi for you to be on my live right now, so God did it. I don't care how bad it is, okay? Somebody somewhere had time out their day because bills was paid, because things was in order, or they're getting in order, and that's the reason why you on my live today, so God did it. Whatever it is that you went through, people did not expect you to come up out of it. People did not expect you to come up out of it in one piece. And they did all that they could. You had nobody on your side because everybody was too busy trying to get a payout, trying to get a paycheck. And they didn't care for the friendship. So whatever life takes them, you wish them well. It's just will never bring you two back together as friends, as lovers, as partners, as nothing. Because you got to get to where you need to be. Okay? And you ain't got time for people feeling some type of way, or people who are susceptible to things that you are protected from getting in between you and what God has for you. Not anymore. So not only are you understanding why you went through what you went through, you understanding why God made you wait. You even understand why you had to endure everything that you had to endure. To whom much is given, much is expected in return. Your enemies never realized that in trying to stop you and prevent you from receiving something, they ended up multiplying the blessings that God had initially had in store for you. So all what your enemies do is end up setting you up on a grand scale to receive bigger and better blessings than what you were originally slated to receive. All because they kept trying to go up in between what God has for you and what you're meant to receive. You already worked for these blessings. You already put in the work. You already been through enough. You already had to endure. You already had to suffer. You've already had to persevere. You've already had to fight. You've already had to tug and pull. And see, this is the thing. When the enemy tugs at you, God pulls you right back and gets you back on track. When the enemy tugs at you again, God pulls you back and gets you back on track. When the enemy pulls at you from every corner, God pulls you back on every corner and gets you back on track. These ain't real friends. Hell, these ain't even family members that you need to have up in your life. What you realizing is every person that played out, every person that switched up, every person that sold you out, You understand what I'm saying? They played their card. They made their choice. So you are making people stand on the choices and the decisions that they made that could have put you in situations where you would have never been here today had not God been on your side. It wouldn't have been no apologies. It wouldn't have been no let's go ahead and extend the olive branch. Some of y'all would have lost your life. Some of y'all would have had your kids taken away from you. Some of you would have been in positions where it would have been irreparable damage. You didn't just have one Judas spirit. I want you to understand something. I want you to listen to me very clearly. Are you listening? See, when the devil tries to stop you because you are a heavy hitter on heaven's assignment, I'll say it again. You are a heavy hitter. You ain't no lightweight. You ain't no lightweight, whoever I'm talking to. I'm finna go down the list. Magnetic Favor, Roger Cherry, Paris Marie, Terrell Webb, Harry Powell. All right? Harry Powell. You ain't no lightweight, baby. I don't know what you been told, but you ain't no lightweight. I can tell you that right now. Melrose, Lamont, Highway, Yeshua. That's my brother right there. You always be responding to me. For Sean, okay? I hope I'm saying y'all name right. Bernard Hill, Gucci Forever. Yeah. Y'all ain't no lightweight. You ain't no lightweight. You ain't no lightweight by a long shot. You are a heavy hitter on heaven's assignment. So when you a heavy hitter and the devil know that you a heavy hitter, you think that he finna sit up here and do some lightweight shit to try to block you? Nah. No, sir, no ma'am. He ain't finna do no lightweight shit. You are a heavy hitter. So he got to bring it. He got to bring that heat. You understand what I'm saying? So when you a heavy hitter on heaven's assignment, you got to understand something. He would use anybody. He would use everybody to come up against you. He would attack every pillar, every footing, every grounding, every hole, every crack that you got blessings, okay, and resources flowing into you. Because he is trying to cripple you. He is trying to break you. He is trying to discourage you. Baby, he can't. You can't mess around with a heavy hitter and just do every kind of thing and think you're gonna break us. So what I'm trying to say is, you didn't just have one Judas spirit. You had a plethora of them. You had them on your job. You had them in your home. You had them in your circle. You had them in your friends group. They were your baby daddy. They were your baby daddy, baby mama. They was your baby mama. They was your ex-girlfriend, your current girlfriend. They was whoever. You understand what I'm saying? You had all these people who were going up against you. All because of who you are. So if there was ever a situation or a question, y'all keep asking, but why? But why? But why? But why? But why? Why, God? Why? Why I gotta be so hard? Why is you see me trying? Why? Why? Because whatever forces is coming up against you, know that you ain't no lightweight. So they did it and they brought it. And they started it and God finished it. Okay? Because even though they brought the fire to you, they brought the pressure, but they didn't want no smoke. Because at the end of the day, when you are on heaven's assignment, and I keep trying to tell people, you come with a warning label. But evidently, nobody wants to heed to the warning. They just want what they want. They attack who they want to attack, and then they want to attack you and bind you up so that you're going to expose their secrets. You understand that everything that was going against you was not natural, it was supernatural. You had people really trying to work against you spiritually, really trying to work against you physically. They try to shut you up, bind you up, okay, and have you cased up. And that's because you a heavy hitter on heaven's assignment, baby. When you're on heaven's assignment, you got a certain level of protection that surrounds you, that protects you, that keeps you, okay? And that's what your enemies are seeing. That's why they couldn't get to you the way that they wanted to get to you, the way that they felt like they should have been able to get to you, because of everything that they was working and whoever it is that they was using against you. And so now they're seeing, if there was ever a time that you were poisoned, that you were frauded, that you were stolen from, okay, that you had gangs and gangs and gangs and slew of people going up against you, and you still here standing the test of time, baby, let me tell you something. That's how people know that you vetted and that you goated, because anybody else would have been broken. Anybody else would have been out for the count. They counted you out. God counted you in. They counted you out. God counted you in. Okay. They sold you out. They definitely sold you out for a paycheck. Let's hope that that paycheck keeps them for the rest of their days. Because let me tell you something. When Judas betrayed Jesus, he didn't even want to spend the money. And maybe we dealing with people who don't mind. They will spend the money, but they're not ready to receive the judgment and the consequences that's going to come with taking that money, what they had to do to obtain that money, and then spending that money. Okay? All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. So let's hope if it was so much worth the partnership, the friendship, okay, the family ship, the situation ship, okay, that ship has sailed, baby, and it ain't coming back. No time soon, not ever. So you are making people stand on the decisions that they made, and God is making people stand on the decisions that they made by bringing down this judgment on their heads. Because had he not been who he was to you, you would have messed around and been dead. You would have been messed around and you would have been jobless, homeless, childless, everything else less. But somehow, some way, you still standing here. You still standing here, standing the test of time. Okay, moving forward and persevering. And you may not look like what you've been through, but you about to start looking like everything that God is about to take you to. I'll say it again for the people in that, for the haters in the valley. Play with it, don't play with me. You may not look like what you've been through. I don't know who I'm talking to. But you about to start looking like everything, every single thing that God is about to take you to. It was never intended for you to look worn out, played out, shrugged out, dragged out because of what these people wanted for you. Okay? They couldn't get to you. They couldn't get to me. I still showed up for y'all. I still showed up for y'all. And I didn't play victim. Half of y'all didn't even know what I was going through until I got up out of it. You understand what I'm saying? And so whoever trying to silence me, baby, you ain't going to be able to stop me from speaking my truth. Not with what protects me. Not with what protects you. Because let me tell you something. If you wasn't protected, you would have been broken. And you would have been dead a long time ago. And that was my whole intention for bringing up every scenario that you guys had went through. Because when you go back over those scenarios, this how you know it's bad. When you go back over the scenarios and you playing it in your mind, like, is my mind playing tricks on me? Did I really just overcome everything of what it is I went through? Yes, you did. Congratulations is in due order, baby. You don't look like what you been through, but you about to start looking like everything that God is about to take you to. And I'm on my 1%, so I'm go ahead and end the message, and I'll be back on later or tomorrow. Make sure that y'all go ahead and support and buy my ActiveX products. It is available on the store tab of the channel. I got a sale going on. You guys can get everything $35 and under. Okay, thank y'all. I love y'all. Stay prayed up and be blessed.